Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. I am in person.
Just hacking away.
Luckily, I've tested 4 times.
A real test or a PCR? I mean,
I just asked the guy. I'm like, hey, COVID or nah?
Yeah,
like,
that's a test.
You don't look like Delta. I did 2 rapid, 2 PCR. I am in the clear, but I do have whatever this freaking cold is that's just going, this like bitch-ass immune system cold.
The long haul.
The long haul. I've been in the house for a year and a half, and the first time I feel a germ, I'm sick for 2 weeks. So anyway, feeling better, here with the gang, and here to spread whatever I have.
Knowledge or viruses.
Or acute respiratory virus. We have a good episode. We're starting with our old buddy, Casey Adams.
Yeah, and really great conversation about his new business, new haircut, more importantly.
New face.
Yeah, and a friend of ours that he ran into casually.
Oh, friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
You guys are going to love this one. Ran into a friend of the pod out golfing.
Just, casual.
And, a lot of really successful people golf.
Love the evening, weekday golf.
So the really successful crowd golfs on the weekdays. So,
exactly.
Just to give you some hints.
Yes.
Ran into a friend we're going to talk about on the pod. You guys will all enjoy it. And then we got to talk about, I don't know. I think the main thing is it's freaking scary out here.
Scary out in these streets.
More stories of LA violence.
Might be time to go to Mars.
Well, we got an answer for you. We might have a small check. We're going to talk about all of the above and plenty more. We also have a little news about a paradise out in the desert called Coachella.
Yes. Okay. Some big rules.
We'll tell you how to get in.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Welcome back, Casey.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a minute.
So we got a bit of a new hairstyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hairstyle evolved.
It has.
Remember that was kind of predicted?
Yeah, we kind of went in on the spikes. And we kind of tried to tell you like, hey man, for what you're trying to do in this world, spikes aren't it.
Yeah, spikes are not going to work.
So thanks for taking our advice.
Of course.
It looks like, I feel like there's a new, like clean shave. Something's new. You look.
It's clean shave. I shave like twice a week now.
Okay.
Good for you. Okay. Yeah. So maybe it's just success.
Maybe so.
Sounds like you're doing well.
We're on the Accutane, so we got the tight skin now.
Oh, okay.
That's maybe what it is.
Yeah.
I went through an Accutane phase. Incredible.
I remember.
I don't know if I recommend it because it's a nightmare on your life, meaning like you're all dried up and whatever. But right now, I haven't washed my face in months.
I haven't washed my face in years.
I've done nothing but splash water on my face for probably a year.
Oh my God.
That's what I've done my whole life.
I mean, soap hasn't touched this face in pre-pandemic.
That's the goal. That was the goal.
Yeah, so welcome.
It's working.
Take a couple pills for 6 months. Never touch soap again. Casey, what's been up, man? I've seen you've been golfing and stuff. Why don't you catch us up a little bit?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been a wild 24 hours. The launch party here in LA for my new venture, which we'll talk about. But I mean, I think I haven't seen you for over a year and a half since
pre-COVID.
Probably the event that we all did together.
Pre-COVID.
Oh, yeah.
A lot's been up. Moved to LA last October.
Yeah.
Officially.
Congrats.
Thank you. Moved in with my girlfriend. Big step.
Congrats on that.
Huge milestone.
Wow. Yeah.
She influenced me alongside you guys to do the hair back. So,
maybe she was the real
changing.
I have a feeling
she was like, Casey, what are you doing about these spikes?
Yeah.
We were saying it. He was like, yeah, right. She said it once. He's like, all right, babe. Okay, point taken.
So that happened. And then I got a new business venture, MediaKits, that's really been full-time since December, coming on board with my best friend, Kieran O'Brien. The product, super excited about it. That's really been full focus outside of the podcast and everything else that I dip my hands in.
And the golfing.
And golfing, yeah, of course.
And you ran into someone we know, golfing.
Yeah. We ran into Pete.
Pete's golfing?
It was on a Monday at 6 p.m., I believe it was.
On Monday at 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
Normally he'd be at work.
With the Costa Brava gang or who?
Just him. We love you, Pete.
You're telling me that Pete is living like an 80-year-old Palm Beach, Florida's life. Florida man.
Yeah.
And he's golfing by himself at 6 p.m.?
Yeah, we were checking in, getting our new clubs, and we saw Pete, and I'm like, hey, who are you here with? He's like, I'm by myself. I was like, you want to join us? Me and my brother? Us three end up going out for 6 holes.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We had to leave him because it was getting dark and I needed to get back.
And he kept going?
He kept going.
He's like, I got nowhere to be.
Oh my God. Okay, well, good for Pete. I mean, it sounds like he's already retired.
Yeah, he went, like you were saying earlier, like he went from like the start of your career to retirement in 1 year.
Literally like assistant, like will do anything, shoot video, whatever, just trying to figure out how to have a job. To like Daytona Beach, Florida, retired.
Socks up to your ass.
Yeah.
He was good though. He has a nice swing. Gotta give it to him.
He's an athletic.
Sounds like he's playing a lot.
He's a big athletic guy. Lots of time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good for Pete, man. Shout out to Pete. Okay, so let's talk about business. I'll be honest, I'm completely unfamiliar, so this is great. Because this is like a real catch-up. Are you aware?
Yeah.
Okay, so fill me in. I'm the listener.
Yeah.
I'm representing the listeners.
Okay.
So, Casey, I will say this for the listeners. If you're not familiar with Casey, how old are you now? 20?
21.
Okay, so wow.
We just celebrated. We were in Europe.
Casey's 21. We met Casey when he was probably 18.
I think it was 17.
17.
I interviewed you first when I was 17.
Okay, so Casey, well, I'll say, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Casey was sort of in a dark time in his teens and found the work of people like Ty Lopez and some of the great motivators and really said, you know what? This is what I want for my life. I'm going to turn this shit around. And became like a high school sort of entrepreneurial
high school
prodigy. Gary V.
Yeah.
And he reached out. I think we first met him because you reached out to interview me and you interviewed me and I called your mom and asked her to let you skip school.
Yep. That was here first time in the office.
Yep. And then that progressed and we did some events together. We've came to some of your events in Arizona, but you've always been this like starting very young in the entrepreneurial. You've interviewed Larry King.
Yep.
You've been very aggressive in this. I'd say you're sort of a product of these internet motivator. Like this is what can happen. You can get a Casey Adams.
Yeah.
You know, the right circumstances.
This is the good side of
the
it.
right YouTube subscription. And so now here we are. You're 21. I haven't talked to you since pre-pandemic, and you have a pretty legit business venture going here.
Yeah. What's it about?
Well, first off, appreciate the intro there. So the new business venture, it's called MediaKits, and we actually just launched yesterday. That's why we had this big launch party, which we'll get into. But MediaKits, it's a real-time data and analytics tool, which allows creators of any kind, musicians, influencers, athletes, gamers, to build a media kit in a beautiful way using real-time data and analytics. So we tap into the APIs of all the social media platforms and aggregate data in a beautiful way so that when you're pitching brands like 5'4" or Young and Reckless as an influencer, you guys can see all of their data very transparently.
So it allows me, instead of going and like, I made 1 million media kits in my day.
Yeah.
And instead of going and sort of manually pulling it and updating it and all that stuff, you just can whip it up in 2 seconds.
Yep. So you owe off into the platforms as a creator, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube as of now. And we aggregate all the data in a beautiful way. You never have to update it again from the numbers side.
Yeah.
And then we have a whole editor tool which allows you to, edit your picture, have a video playing in the background, and add different widgets that we have in there, whether that's pricing or recent sponsorships or press, etc. And that's mainly for the influencer side. And then we have it from the musician side, pulling Spotify data, SoundCloud data, etc. But right now we're focused on influencers. That's our big MVP push. And as of yesterday, we're live.
And do you, as a creator, do you pay for this?
It's a freemium. So free to create your media kit, free to create one single media kit, plug in your platforms. Within the next 60 days, we're launching a subscription model, $19 a month, where you can create more than one media kit. So for someone like me who has a podcast, whenever brands are reaching out to me, they just want to see my podcast numbers, right? So you could plug into Spotify or iTunes or even a third-party platform like Podchaser, pull your podcast data, and I could share a podcast-specific media kit. So what the pro model will do is just a lot of customization, custom domains, MediaKits.com/Casey Adams or /Rise of the Young or /group chat. So there's a lot of small things that will be in the pro model that will be live in the next 60 days. But for now, it's free. You go on there, create your media kit, and you can instantly share it.
And is it password protected if you wanted to, or is it public?
Yes, that will come. Because at the end of the day, that's one thing too. It's like we don't want creators just to have all their data out there and have anyone access it. So password protected it. And then one of the biggest things from a product standpoint is our whole growth model is very similar to a Wikipedia or Crunchbase or anywhere we could claim a profile, right? So something about a Google Knowledge Panel. So we have a proprietary scraper tool where we can scrape just public front-end data from Instagram, from Twitter, from YouTube, total views, likes, etc. Populate these media kits and then rank them organically on Google. So if Dee Murthy was to Google his name one day, our goal would be to rank on page 1. And then you could go to your media kit, see your headshot, see your public data, followers, average engagement rate, etc. And you could say, hey, is this are you Dee Murthy? Claim your media kit. And then that would prompt you to OAuth into all the platforms. And if your username matches up, you can claim it and now it's yours. So
I like that.
Sounds like the crypto thing. What was the
BitClout.
Yeah.
BitClout, yeah.
Good strategy.
Yeah, it is a good strategy.
Yeah, like here, it's already here. Just
and it's like claiming your business on Yelp, right? It's like all this is already populated. So that's going to be a huge growth strategy for us.
I like the idea of if you Google someone, the things that come up are their Wikipedia, their celebrity net worth, that always happens.
Yeah.
And then their media kit.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, got it.
Yeah.
I know everything about you.
And another one big in the space? Famous birthdays.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. They got mine totally wrong, though.
Your birthday's wrong?
My birthday's wrong. My birthday and my age are both wrong. Huh?
DM them on Twitter and Instagram. They'll hit you back like that.
I think it's kind of funny because I think, you know what? You guys don't know what you're doing.
I'm still
saying,
17.
I post it every year. Just saying, I like to expose the flaws in the system. But yeah, it gives you everything you need to know on a quick Google search.
Yeah. Very similar to famous birthdays where, you Google your name and see you have a page that's already made for you. Yeah. And then you can obviously claim it and update it and change it all and make it yours.
Oh. And so you guys are officially live now. So is the kind of game plan is kind of let the internet do the internet and figure and see how people engage with it, and then
absolutely. Right now, as of last night, we had this big launch party in LA, and obviously the goal is drive signups, but mainly for this perspective was just brand awareness. For us, it was all about getting creators together, bringing our investors there, our advisors, and people that are actually involved to create an incredible experience. And as I said before we got started, Dan Fleischman from Elevator Studios, he's one of our investors, and he's been doing elevator nights here in LA, I think, for years. He's done up to 40 of them. And we were planning this launch party. He's like, hey, let's just do this elevator night launch party. Instead of it just being a party, like we'll have panels. So last night there was almost like 600 people that were in and out all night, I believe.
Good old fashioned super spreader.
Yeah, oh my gosh. So you currently have Delta incubating in your body. And we'll talk to you in about 2 days.
MediaKits.com/Delta.
Numbers are way up. Engagement through the roof.
Yes. But yeah, so it was panels interviewing influencers on one side, and then Dan interviewing brand owners, talking about the pain points of influencer marketing, opportunities, and everything in between. So it was fun. It was a great turnout. I still am mind blown about how it all came together for me and the whole team and everyone that was there. It was just all love. And, we've done events before. Things could go bad. There could be not many people show up. They could not like it. They could leave. But it was very cool to see everyone's reaction to the product, having the projector showing them the actual product, doing the Q&A, and obviously just mingling around. It was a lot of great feedback, and it was cool to see.
That's amazing.
And then, of course, Wiz was there. I'm sure that's why people were there as well. And he
good old Khalifa.
What's the end goal?
There's who buys this business?
Yeah, what's the 5-year plan?
5-year plan would be to make it $1 billion company. We're looking at it in a very venture scale way if we need to. Like my whole thought process on raising capital is, we take the really bootstrapped approach, but we want to bring in great people. So right now we're almost closing our seed round, which will be public soon. But the whole goal is to create $1 billion company. That's the plan, to help reinvent the resume. That's the bold mission statement that we have.
But what creators. Do you do at $1 billion? You sell it? You keep it? What do you do?
So we look at it very black and white, where we see these tools. Maybe it's a Canva, maybe it's a Squarespace, maybe it's a Wix. These do-it-yourself website builder tools or customization platforms. That's a potential acquisition that we see. Even someone like Cameo in the creator space. So if we think acquisition, that's how we look at it, as a maybe potential.
Yeah.
But I've never sold a business before, so this is all new to me, right?
Yeah.
We have some awesome investors and advisors that are helping us from this early stage, that are helping steer the boat. But our whole goal is to build a unicorn.
Great.
Well, look at you, man. Unicorn at 21. Who's the youngest unicorn builder? Kylie Jenner?
Gotta be.
Evan Spiegel?
It's probably Kylie.
21.
Okay, you and Kylie. Kylie Adams.
What's your haircut at $1 billion?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, the hard hitting
There we
stuff
go.
that Bloomberg will never ask.
Yeah, you're right.
I was going for the Leonardo DiCaprio look. The hair was like, if I made it forward, I could like, it would go to my chin.
Oh.
I got it cleaned up last week. It was kind of getting too long.
Got it.
So we'll see, man. Like,
So you're already comparing yourself to Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
huh?
That's what a girlfriend will do.
no.
That confidence is
Yeah,
high.
that's what a girlfriend does to a 21-year-old. She's like, babe, you know who you remind me of?
The hairstyle, it has evolved so much. I was always so confused about like, what do I do here? The spiky look. Then it was like the one side look. And then
I think it's
one
shaved
day
head
we
at $1
just,
billion.
Shaved head might be beard, shaved
Beard shaved head.
Okay.
Jack
Yeah,
Dorsey.
face piercing.
Yeah.
I think at that level,
Spear through the nose.
you kind of think differently.
Get
It was-
big on like organic things and
Yeah. Plant based.
go ahead and
Yeah.
I'm a unicorn.
Yeah.
Maybe do like one unicorn that you just sort of gel up.
Like just really get a horn.
Yeah, just get a horn and gel it up. And just say, what's up, bitch? I'm 23 with a unicorn.
We'll see.
That's incredible. What do you have any competition? Is there anyone doing something like this?
There are a lot of influencer brand matchmaking marketplaces. And we don't necessarily look at that as competition, but
Yeah.
I mean, most importantly, there's dozens of creator tools that are out there, right? Whether that's the link in bio space with Hoobie or whatever it may be. There's so many great companies that are providing real value to creators, and we sort of think about it where you have Uber, you have Lyft, you have Tinder, you have Bumble, whatever it may be. Like, there's so much space for creator tools to live, and we just want to be a very clear tool to begin with. The Media Kit builder, any creator of any kind can build a Media Kit within 30 seconds, real-time data, never have to update again, period. And then phase 2 and 3 are very simple. Number 2 is on an enterprise scale. So think about it where record labels or talent agencies, where they can build Media Kits at scale for their talent. So one of our investors is Will Designback from Taylor Gang. And like, we're already experimenting with some of their artists on a music side of, them building Media Kits, and they're loving it. We're getting great feedback. So that's phase 2, is an enterprise package where someone like CAA or Taylor Gang or different record labels could sign up, manage 50, 100, 1,000 different artists and have all of their real-time data aggregated in one place. Then phase 3 is the marketplace. So we sort of think about the Media Kit builder tool as a Trojan horse where, right, it's a user acquisition model. We get hundreds of thousands of influencers using a real tool that has clear, simple value. And then once we have that audience and user base, we open up the marketplace where brands can search through a database of cross-platform data of influencers of any kind.
Yeah.
And that's really the 3-step approach that we're thinking about it. And obviously things will change and will evolve as it progresses, but that's the plan.
I like it.
I like it, man.
Thought through.
Here's my last question. As a 21-year-old that's paid very close attention to entrepreneurship, motivation, that type of stuff, and now you're going out on your own, you have to pick one. That's the rule. Who do you want to emulate? Well, who's an entrepreneur or someone doing stuff that you're like, if I could be anyone or really adapt their qualities, here's my hero.
Leo.
It's what he's doing for the climate. Great stuff. Great work.
It's a great question because I think it's changed so much. Like, I know you talk about some of the people early on that inspired me, and like for me, it's always changing, right? But if I had to pick one person, I don't know. I mean, my mind initially goes to Gary Vee.
Yeah.
And not only just because like who he is and his audience, but his cultural relevance of like relationships in many genres and being able to sort of move and shake in different avenues.
Yeah.
And just understanding it from a bigger picture, like 50-year thinking. I love his approach to that. He's not, in my eyes, the most successful guy in the world, right? When you think about all these tech billionaires, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. But when I think about it at this stage of my life and even just seeing how we're bringing on investors, I have people from the music space, from the creator space, and people from the tech world. And to be able to have not only network, but a clear approach to multiple industries that I can use for future ventures. I think he does that very well. And I try to study him. And yeah, I think he sort of just pops out as someone that if I can following that lead and maybe go down my own path in a different way and follow someone else.
Yeah.
But he's always been a guiding light from a 20, 30, 50-year vision. In terms of like branding, cultural relevance, and how he's building and how he's moving.
Yeah.
But from a company side, I mean, I think starting a tech company is so new to me. Just seeing all these unicorns pop up, it's like, this is all new to me. It's very clear about, when you think about valuations and raising money, it's like, what the hell is this? This is a joke. Some things are crazy. You see companies go up and down. So for me, it's just being around the right people and having an incredible team and learning from the people that are in my corner.
Amazing.
Spoken like a true
unicorn
founder. You're already so like political, for such a young age. I feel like we're talking to like Vlad on Bloomberg right now.
Yeah, everyone lost their money, but
technically, it's very good. It's a compliment.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it, man. Great
Casey,
work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Great work. I mean, I feel like every time we talk, you're making big leaps. So congrats.
MediaKits.com, right?
MediaKits.com. That is it.
I'll go claim my name.
Claim it up.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you, Casey.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, Jason, you need to put down all that fried, greasy lunches you always have. What did you eat today?
Oh God.
It looked disgusting.
It was spicy pork with teriyaki chicken with some hot sauce. With
You
some
think that's a
macaroni
healthy
salad.
choice for a meal?
No veggies. I asked for no veggies, double mac.
You asked for no veggies?
Double mac, yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting you a gift since you're, officially starting to work here from Athletic Greens.
I'm going to the gym today for the first time in 3 months.
First time in 3 months?
I've been busy.
Wow.
You haven't even gone for a run or anything?
No.
Other than run club?
Well, I've gone to run club.
So, more importantly, we're going to get you some Athletic Greens. You need to get your daily multivitamins and minerals. Mm-hmm. Athletic Greens in one scoop have 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. Some young buck like you think you're going to be like this forever, eating spicy pork teriyaki, double mac and cheese, and think you're going to be healthy? Your shit's getting clogged up, bro.
I know.
You need some greens in your system. You also showed up a little late today. I think you're being a little sluggish.
Well, you know what? You're right. I got to take better care of myself, and I got to get right. I got to get some Athletic Greens and get on the office on time, ahead of time, 7 a.m.
Yes.
Ready to go.
See, if you were taking a scoop of Athletic Greens, you'd be here at 7.
Probably.
But instead, you're here at 10:15 today.
Yeah.
So head over to athleticgreens.com/group chat. And with our special offer, you get free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. You could have taken one of those travel packs to Las Vegas now that you're a big traveler.
Oh, you know what? Next trip.
Okay.
Next trip to Vegas or wherever we go.
We. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the we. Head on over to athleticgreens.com/group chat and get your free year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. I actually use the vitamin D. It's a little dropper.
Nice.
It's great.
Convenient.
And I take my Athletic Greens, almond butter, almond milk, mix it all up. Fantastic. Let's get back into it.
You know what I think might be next for Casey? Just, so look, Jeff Bezos, trip to outer space.
Yeah.
Very successful entrepreneur.
Yep.
Richard Branson.
Yes.
Very successful entrepreneur, trip to outer space. Casey, new entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a simulator that pretends you're in space. Right? It's like a good way to it's like a visualization tool.
Yeah, this is where you will be.
One day.
Yes.
I'll be a unicorn and I will be on Mars. And NASA, it looks like, is offering that opportunity.
NASA is willing to pay you to live in a simulation of Mars for 1 year.
For a year?
1 year, starting in fall of 2022. There is compensation. We just don't know what it is yet. They haven't, but it's basically like 1,700 square foot space meant to simulate the experience of living on Mars.
That seems
limited
excessive.
access to resources and lots of space food.
Don't you think we should start at like a weekend?
Yeah, weekend in Mars.
A year? I wonder what the compensation is. I mean, that feels a little crazy. It's a little like solitary confinement just in a big ass room.
Maybe shoot prisoners.
I mean, not against it. There has to be like some sort of environmental tests, right?
So it's not easy to even be qualify. You have to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident.
I got an idea. Don't be so strict.
Yeah. Be within the ages of 30 and 55 years old.
Not bad.
You have to possess a master's degree in a STEM field. So that's engineering, biological science, physical science. Have at least 2 years of related professional experience in a STEM field. Or at least 1,000 hours pilot in command time on jet aircraft.
Bullshit.
Be able to pass the NASA long duration flight astronaut physical. Basically, it looks like these are like a great place for like failed astronauts.
But who has all of that experience and education? It's like, I could spend a year in a fucking room with dirt.
Yeah, and you're 45 years old, like you have no family, you have nothing.
Good luck. I mean, I'm sure they'll find it because it does probably feel like you're like adding to the future. You know, you're doing your duty.
Yeah.
But
A
damn
year's
it,
a
man.
long time.
Year?
Like, do you get TV? Do you get TikTok?
Not on Mars. There's no TikTok on Mars.
So they simulate that.
I bet they do. They have to. It has to be pretty stringent health tests, terrible food, and isolation.
Why would I even do this?
Someone who's disqualified. Okay, we need a Harvard MBA with 10 years of experience, $50 million, no family. Oh my gosh. All right, well look, it's perfect for someone. There's someone out there that's like jackpot. And I have to believe the fee is pretty decent.
It has to be. It has to be because this is ridiculous.
All right. Well, shit. You know, we have a lot of really interesting listeners. Maybe this one's for you.
NASA.gov. Go apply for it. Good luck.
All right.
You got nothing to do for a year? Pete should do it.
I was just going to say that.
I mean, what's he playing golf on
fit the
Mondays?
criteria.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't have the education
Wrong
or the
age,
experience.
no education. Would probably get his ass kicked in those physical tests. I'm sorry. We love you, Pete. All right. Well, we'll see. Someone will do it. And I just hope that just make content.
Yeah.
Like, just give me a live stream. Give me something.
I mean, the main reason really to go on this is you should be pretty safe.
Because you have help there? Like, you have like...
No, I mean, because the streets are dangerous.
Great point.
Yes.
You know what? At this point, for a nice, educated person, at least if you live in LA, it might be better to spend a year locked in a room with some space ice cream.
I mean, can you take a family of 4?
Let's talk. Let's talk violence.
Yes.
LA is fucking nuts, man.
Big tragedy in LA yesterday.
Anand, not far. Well, really, all of us, not far from where we live.
Yes.
Well, I won't say where, but Anand recently moved a little further from this area.
Too close for me.
But a man at Shoe Palace on Melrose, which is like, that's it. That's LA streetwear. You know, you're Fairfax and Melrose, and if you don't live here, those streets intersect, and there's one little corner where
tons of traffic, right? Foot traffic, because it's summer break.
And for the record, every time we record, I drive home purposely down Melrose past Shoe Palace just to see what's going on.
You probably need a new route.
I'm taking a new route.
Yeah.
So a guy was shot and killed at Shoe Palace during like a sneaker raffle.
Yeah.
What
Broad
happened?
daylight.
So let me tell you what happened. It looks like it was around 12 o'clock yesterday. An argument broke out with a group of men and women who were at the shoe raffle in front of the store.
Okay.
So the way the sneaker store works is you have to enter in a raffle, and if you win a raffle, you get the right to purchase whatever hot shoe that's coming out.
Got it. And this all happens like live? Like, here's your ticket.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yes. Apparently some argument broke out. A Shoe Palace employee went to go kind of like ask what's going on, like calm the situation down. 26-year-old Jaron Bradford went there, and there's a video, and I watched it, and it is just
a video of the shooting.
Yeah, I watched it too.
It's horrific. This guy
security
just
video?
like literally.
That was from a store across the way. Someone was videotaping
filming the fight.
Yes.
And so broad day, and this wasn't a robbery.
Yeah.
This was a fight, and the guy got shot and killed. What happened to the shooter?
Obviously fled the scene.
They didn't catch
There's
him.
no way they can't catch him.
Yeah,
But they didn't catch him yet.
No, but this guy's
The
obviously,
most horrific part of the video, obviously the murder, but was how casual it was done.
Yeah.
It was like the equivalent of like a street fight. You're outside a bar and you just swing on someone.
Yeah.
He just pulled out a gun and killed him.
It's insane.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm not that I'm like Mr. Fight Guy or anything, but anytime I see a commotion cause I told you that happened by my house. There was two guys, we were driving home one night. There was two guys fighting in the middle of the road, and I kind of slowed down because I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And Kareem was like, go. Like, you don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
I get home, helicopters, cops, whatever. I look on Citizen, one guy shot the other guy.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting close to these type of altercations.
No, it was crazy. We obviously we're in that neighborhood of a lot of friends who live in the neighborhood. And we went to a birthday party, kid's birthday party the other day at their house, and we're leaving. And the streets are all clogged, and this guy's parking like an asshole. And Haley was about to honk. I was like, nah, I wouldn't honk on this street.
No.
You can't. Look at this. This is, so like, what do you do about this?
I guess the question I have is, are kids just more brazen that they think they can just pull guns and shoot people?
Yes.
Or is it just happening in our areas now and it used to not?
Both.
Yeah.
Like, what do you,
No, I'm saying,
what's the second one? Explain the second one to me.
I guess the second one is, that was unfathomable
Yeah.
on Melrose 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Unfathomable. Someone just in broad daylight getting shot and killed. Are these kids from the neighborhood doing it? Or they just came from different neighborhoods and just doing it in ours?
I think that the easy answer, I think, is like people are just more brazen. I think people, like, things have just ramped up.
Yeah.
And what used to be a fight, no matter where they were from or whatever, instead it's a shootout.
I mean, 26-year-old kids fucking dead.
And worked there.
Was
trying to break it up.
That's insane. It's insane. And, you know, when you look at a street like Melrose, so last Friday, I went to Cool Kicks at like, I don't know, call it 3:00 with actually some a friend of the podcast, Eric Lee, who lives out in Atlanta. He was in town. We went over to Cool Kicks. We walk over there. It is slammed with kids.
This is on Melrose.
On Melrose.
Yeah.
Young fucking kids. Like, I'm watching kids walk into Cool Kicks and they are so happy to be there. Like, they're with their parents. They're like 12 years old.
Oh,
and
young,
they're just
young.
like young kids. And I just saw like joy on their face.
Yep.
Like, they're like, oh my, like they walked into Disneyland. And that's like a good chunk of Melrose are these like kids from all over the country that come because it is the mecca of streetwear.
Yep.
And they want to experience it. They want to walk. They want to go have the, Pink's hot dog or whatever, eat, and walk around and go to the shoe stores. And then something like this happens.
Yep.
It is just like, as a parent, I don't even know, like, how do you all generations. I used to go to Melrose when I was a kid. Like, you can't, how do you do that? Like,
It's not even as a parent, it's you.
yeah. Well, I'm not doing that normally, right? Like, I'm not I honestly, because I know what happens on that street, because I'm a local, I know better not to be walking around there on a busy day.
On Fairfax.
No, not Fairfax, Melrose. More so Melrose.
Same thing.
Yeah.
They
No,
don't
it's-
block each other.
You think there's a difference?
But even,
Don't you think this just the same thing could have happened on?
sure, I agree. When I see those long lines of kids,
Yeah.
I'm genuinely nervous
You
for
see
the
guns.
situation. Yeah, I mean, I just because most of these lines are for highly desired items.
Yeah.
They're not for like a sale. It's not for a discount. No, it's for some $500 or $1,000 item that's valuable on resale. And these poor kids are like, I mean, I don't know what you do. Because like, I honestly think like a street like Melrose, Fairfax, it practically needs its own police department.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, it's not funny. When you drive down the street, every one of these stores has armed security out front.
Yeah.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Like,
Like armed with guns.
you never used to see that.
No.
And it's every sneaker store, every
every
weed
resale.
store. I heard there was a shootout outside of like Cookies or one of those stores not too long ago as well.
Wow.
It's gnarly, man.
It's really sad. And it's like this like sneaker resale culture is like it's so big, it's so amazing, and it's like filled with young kids. They love it. Like it's such like a youthful kind of thing. And I'm sure it's like a fun experience for them to stand in line and get their shoes. And like, I mean, what do you do now? Your Shoe Palace, this is like a pretty large shoe chain in the West Coast. You had an employee get killed over a shoe, and I'm sure it's a Nike shoe. Like, these are big companies involved. Like, you got to figure out a solution. We can't lose kids over fucking shoes.
Yeah.
That was happening in the 90s.
Yeah.
I remember that
Out here?
vividly. Yeah, over Jordans.
Yeah.
I remember those stories.
Yeah. They would always be on the news. Someone some kid got killed for his Jordans.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It just feels really nuts. And it feels like it's not, like nothing's changing. That's what's crazy. It seems to me like 2 of these events happen. I'll even give you the benefit of 2. And like there should be visible changes.
Yeah.
And like there's no difference.
Yeah.
All these robberies, all these.
And it doesn't even seem like this kid's going to get caught who killed him.
Yep.
Like there's so much video and
And
surveillance.
he's gone forever.
He's gone forever, jail for life. Is that deterring the next kid or they don't care?
Strangely, I don't think they care. I don't know why, but I don't think they do. Because you see, look, in this day and age, you don't get away with those things. Like you just don't.
Yeah.
You know, like they caught the guys who robbed Lady Gaga's dogs. They caught the guys who killed Pop
Yeah,
Smoke.
I mean, there's surveillance cameras on every corner.
Yeah.
Every store has surveillance cameras. You're going to get caught if you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people just don't give a fuck.
Because
There's a weird lack of.
talk about how there's increased violence in rap more than ever.
Yeah.
Like the most number of shootings in Chicago, Atlanta, and
Yeah.
all these cities, and no one's getting deterred. It's increasing.
Yeah.
That to me points to some sort of like hopelessness, which is scary. Because that tells me that you're not like, you just don't care, which is way different. That's like a different level of scary.
Because that's not even like gang rivalry stuff.
No.
They just got mad that they didn't get the shoe.
The raffle.
right?
Yeah. Probably.
The raffle though, like it's not even like a guy was walking out with a shoe and he's like, yo, give me that. It's like it was an argument. It was essentially an argument,
Yeah.
over something that 2 people wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just gnarly.
And you're bringing a gun to a shoe raffle?
I bet you if you could have x-ray vision, there's a lot of guns out and about right now.
Yeah.
Like I bet if you went down Melrose and there was a
Metal's
metal, yeah, I bet you. That's just how I feel. Because I also feel like other people aren't stupid and they hear this story. And what really happens is the next time you go down to Melrose with your friends, you're taking a gun. If you're,
Yeah.
Yeah, this incident's only going to increase the number of guns.
Yeah. I'll tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to. I said before that like I own a gun legally. And there was a time when I felt like things were like a little sketchy and I felt like I had to have the gun around, right?
Yeah.
Now it seems crazy, but that is how I used to feel. And I will say that as of lately, like I feel like that again. Like it just feels like, I don't know, man. Like, does everyone out here have a gun?
Yeah.
Like people are just like, any little altercation could turn into someone pulling a gun on you. Like it feels unsafe. And I'm not going to roll around town with a gun, but like, it feels that way. So I just feel like if you are more inclined to do that, your answer is going to be, you're going to bring a gun with you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
I'm not going to Melrose. I'm just going to Melrose.
You just got to
with
bring
the
your gun. Yeah. Okay.
Fuck, man. I feel bad for it. It's just like the family. God knows if you had a wife, kid, who knows?
Yeah.
It's like fucked.
All right. Okay. Complete jump.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Okay.
Tiffany Co, the company, jewelry company, Beyonce and Jay-Z are now the face.
I mean, this is like classic LVMH, go buy kind of like a tired old brand and make it hot in like 6 months.
Yeah.
It was so obvious that they were going to inject culture into this.
They're so good.
So good. I mean, look, you got Jay-Z and Beyonce. First of all, the media impressions of this alone is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's going to be everywhere in the next 24 hours. It's going to work.
Perfect. I also feel like it's the perfect like audience because like they're like culturally as relevant as it gets, but also like refined.
Yeah.
Higher end.
Luxury.
And Tiffany to me is that like they're not crazy expensive.
Yeah.
But it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it just feels to me like it's a no-brainer. It's perfect. And from a business level, I envy it so much because it's a perfect example of seeing a good buy, seeing what they're doing wrong, and instantly just doing it right.
It's pretty scary how easy the playbook is, and most people can't figure it out. And it's always this Parisian company that figures it out.
Yeah.
Takes American talent. They took Virgil, they took Beyonce, Jay-Z, and instantly they figured out. And like there was an article today by Complex Magazine. They posted like Travis Scott is the most influential person.
I saw that.
And they had all these reasons on why kids found them influential, like everything from he's constantly putting out music, Is it the Kardashian Jenner effect? He's creative across multi mediums, all those types of things. And like, if you're a brand and you see that, just pay these people gobs of money, and your brand becomes relevant overnight. Like Tiffany is now relevant. Instantly.
I feel like I don't want to claim racism here because I don't know that that's what it is, but I do feel like a lot of these really big brands have a hard time understanding that hip hop is it.
You don't think French people are racist and they can't figure it out?
I'm not going to make any claims. But doesn't it seem that way? Doesn't it seem like, hey, like the culture, what every kid cares about is right in front of you?
It's so
Why
easy.
are more of these deals not happening?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Didn't Steve Stout write that book, 10 years ago?
Tanning of America.
Tanning of America?
Yeah.
Maybe longer?
Like, I don't know if it's because like these like older people maybe just see, like they see like violence and hip hop and the baby that could happen to us.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it just, that's what it feels to me. It feels to me like if
But how come a heritage luxury house can figure it
because
out?
one gets it.
Yeah.
Of all the people, it feels like one group understands it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just feels to me like it's not even necessarily luxury. It's like big brands. I mean, I will give McDonald's did Travis,
Saweetie.
Nike and Jordan, and Sweetie. Yeah. But doesn't it? I don't know. That's just how I see it as like hip hop is still is the biggest genre in the world, but people are still maybe afraid of it on that level.
I would even take it one step further. It's not even just hip hop. It's just youth culture is all that matters.
Yeah.
No one cares about anything but youth culture.
Yeah.
You see it like Nike's one of the most successful apparel footwear brands ever, or is the most successful footwear apparel brand. Even if you look at the marketing of an Apple, it's for young people.
Yeah.
No one has successfully marketed to older people and won.
Yeah.
It's at that scale. Sure, you can give me Tommy Bahama, very successful. Margaritaville, sure, very successful. But when you look at the biggest of the biggest, it's about youth culture.
Yeah.
Even just look at LVMH. Is their average customer 18 years old? Hell no. But every one of their brands is so fucking young and cool.
Because I think the old rich people, I think when you go to like Vegas or whatever, you see it, like the old rich people want to look like the young cool people.
Yes.
They don't want to look like them.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the amount of old people walking around Vegas in Yeezys is comical.
I also feel like all the money that still goes into like, this is a reach, but like still goes into like tennis and golf should go. Like Travis Scott should be the face of Rolex.
Yes.
You know
oh
what
my
I'm saying?
God.
Like there's big money that still goes into that shit.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm in a bubble here, but I just feel like
why?
The Travis Scott,
the richest man in the world, just decided that Beyonce and Jay-Z should be the face of his jewelry brand.
And it's also, you go to a Travis Scott concert, it's all white kids.
Yeah.
Rich white kids.
Yeah, I think they're scared. I think people just lump hip hop as a whole, and you see the baby, and you see the violence that we just talked about, where rap is very violent right now, and you lump everyone in together. You don't know the nuance.
Do you know what LVMH's competitors don't realize is they're doing basically what Facebook was doing and probably wants to, but can't because of antitrust. Just keep acquiring talent.
Yeah.
Just acquired Jay-Z, Beyonce, Virgil, LeBron with Ramoa.
Yeah.
And there's no antitrust.
Well, the
and
brands
paying
is even
celebrities,
crazier.
right?
The brands are crazier.
Is
Not just
Ramoa
talent.
LVMH?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the Sun's brand.
Do you think the Sun is the reason for this?
I mean, I think they've always had this in their DNA, but I'm sure
Don't you think he's the one that understands the nuance, or no?
I think so. I think he's got his dad's ear, and he's telling his dad, hey, this is what's cool.
Yeah. That's incredible. Okay. Well, props to them. I would say all around, great job.
Yeah.
No critiques here.
No.
Okay. Let's talk about the big dog.
A big one.
Let's talk about why we're really all here today.
Super Bowl.
Coachella.
Yep.
So we love Coachella here on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
And, for the listener, obviously we're not at EDC, we're not at Lollapalooza, but we do make time for Coachella every year. It's a big deal. And I think the fact that Coachella's been missing, from our lives for the last 2 years has been a little rough.
Yep.
But they're coming back. They're coming back next year. And they just released some new rules and regs. What do we got? We anti-vax, we pro-vax.
So Golden Voice, who is the owner of the Coachella show, release a statement. Golden Voice will require proof of full vaccination for concert goers and event staff at all of our venues and festivals. And we will implement, leading up, that's after October 1st. Leading up to October 1st, we will implement a policy of showing proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test taken within 72 hours of show date where permitted. So they're like, after October 1st, you have to be fully vaccinated to end Coachella.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wait, is Coachella back in October or next year, April?
I think it's April next year. Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll have some boosters by then.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
If you can walk around Coachella and we have a handle, like right now it feels a little on the edge because
Yeah.
Delta's a little crazy.
Yeah.
But like, you know, if it was 2 months ago and you walk around Coachella, you know everyone's vaccinated, you have the time of your life.
It's amazing. It's a big deal because it is like culturally, there's literally nothing bigger than Coachella. I mean, I'd say Rolling Loud is, you know, because they just did their festival.
I wonder if we're in a bubble and Rolling Loud is more culturally relevant than Coachella.
I
To
think
kids.
for hip hop, it's definitely more relevant.
But I mean, to the audience we were just talking about,
Yeah.
that's them, right?
Yeah, but I think there's when I look at the Rolling Loud videos, I see men. I don't see girls.
Yeah, true.
Coachella's
a fashion statement.
Yeah. There's no like Rolling Loud fashion pics.
There also is not like a Rolling Loud, like everyone agrees we're all going to go with this look.
Yes.
You know, like
Yeah.
Coachella's like, I got it. We're all at Woodstock.
Yeah, Coachella, what people don't realize is the impact Coachella has on, let's take fashion
Yeah.
and music
That's true.
is so big. I mean, like think about it. H&M is the sponsor of it, right? Like they
Yeah.
were the sponsor. I don't know if they still are. You're talking about one of the largest retailers in the world knows their shelves all across the world reflect what a bunch of people in California wear in the desert
Yeah.
for a weekend.
Yeah.
The impact of the festival is just so big. And I think fashion, food, they've always been cutting edge on food.
Yeah.
The experience, like there's nothing like,
You're right.
I've been to a lot of festivals. I haven't been to some of the European festivals, so I don't know how those are. But like, this is like an A+ experience.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's funny, you're going to see people kick, scream, and yell over this policy, and it's not changing. This is where the world's going.
I mean, everyone's doing it.
Everyone's doing it across the world.
LA City Council voted unanimously to require vaccination on
City workers?
indoor gatherings. So I don't know how it goes into law next.
Like New York, you mean?
Yes, exactly like New York.
Plus, I mean, Pentagon said U.S.
Active military.
active military, Disney,
Yeah.
the mouse.
These aren't political statements.
No.
That's
To
the
help
problem.
Like Disney's a for-profit. Coachella's for-profit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be doing this because they're blue or red.
Yeah. It's about money.
It's about money. So all these people screaming from the mountaintop, you can find your studies that, the previous infection defends you just as well as the vaccine. But guess
Cool.
what?
Then you won't get to be at the Coachella.
Yeah, whatever.
Fine.
Yeah.
You're going to be
Wow.
ostracized from society.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I would honestly, because I really like to do it, I'd love to understand the other side of the argument, but I don't. I've listened to everyone talk about it. I do not understand the other side other than it's good for content. To make your video and say, you will not control us. Like
Yeah.
that clicks.
Yeah.
But I just really don't get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well,
See you
yeah,
there.
I saw a meme of a man entering an ambulance on a stretcher, and he goes, "Are we heading to the hospital?" He asked the ambulance man, and he goes, "No, we're actually heading into your comments to get medical advice."
that's
Yeah, that's
really
a good one.
That's
That was
really
a good one.
I mean, the new thing, unfortunately, that's happening is there's a couple people who are very outspoken anti-vaxxers that have died recently of
Yeah.
COVID. Because, that happened last year where people were like, COVID's a hoax, and then that person...
Yeah, there was a guy in Florida, that radio host.
Yeah.
He was a Newsmax guy.
Yeah.
He was anti-vax, said it was a hoax, and he died. And
Yeah.
then on his deathbed, he was telling
His
his
family.
family, go get the vaccine. I should have gotten it.
That's what blows my mind is like, how do you explain your way out of that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you watch that? Let's say I'm a TikTok conspiracy theorist, which I kind of am, and you get sucked in, but then you see that. So is he a shill?
Yes.
They got to
They
him?
got to him.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
the argument still doesn't hold. Like, you'd rather take that risk that you're the guy that's on the deathbed, not going to Coachella, not flying on airlines, not doing all these things. Yeah. And your pride is for what?
Yeah.
Because these aren't science-based. These aren't scientists saying, I'm not getting it. It's people doing their rabbit hole, Reddit, TikTok, Instagram research to come to this conclusion.
Yeah.
And which also means what's next is the artist, because they have to be vaccinated too.
Oh, yeah.
So when these artists who are anti-vax get up on stage, Coachella, and they're like, yeah, you're vaccinated, bro.
No Clapton it.
Yeah, Eric Clapton
will not be there. That'd be a hell of a closer.
We've heard stories.
I got it, guys. I wanted the $3 million check they gave me.
Imagine.
I mean, we've heard stories of A-listers that A, haven't gotten it yet, B,
got
forced to get it in order to go into production.
Yeah. I was talking to someone who's shooting a big movie, just finished wrapping a big movie, and like the heads of the studios are calling the talent and being like,
but where does this like kind of shake out? Because
there'll be something you want to go to and you're like, fuck it, I'm getting vaccinated.
Because at the rate we're going, we're only gonna hit 60%. It seems like.
So maybe Coachella, the houses will be a little cheaper this year.
Good point. This should only be 60% full.
And then fake vaccinations, we need serious punishment.
Yeah.
And it has to be the QR code. By Coachella, you have to have the QR code that
those little cards aren't
the cards aren't going to cut it.
I just, don't you think that like, I wouldn't want it any other way, but like, don't you think this is the problem with democracy in a free country? Like, you're always going to run into this problem. There will be times when you do need to like mandate things, and people are so stuck on like, this is you slowly taking away our freedom. Like you can't make anyone do anything. I mean, people.
I agree. You shouldn't need a driver's license.
So Joe Rogan's never leaving Texas.
True. He's vaccinated, right?
He hasn't said. I don't
think he's vaccinated.
No?
I don't think so.
Wow.
He said he almost got it. Dana White was going to like, for one of the events, like, oh, I got you, whatever. And he said that didn't go through. So I don't know if he ever did, but I don't know. And Dana White did say straight up, there will never be a day when he makes fighters get vaccinated.
Well, obviously, I mean, look what sport they're in. They're not too concerned.
But the NFL did it. The NFL
talent.
did it. I'm surprised the NFL was one of the first ones.
I think money. They don't want their games to be shitty with players out.
Yeah,
I guess you can also kind of get around it in UFC. Like worst case scenario, one guy gets it, you can find a replacement fighter. It's two guys.
Yeah.
It's not teams of.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes out with COVID.
Yeah. Good luck.
Lamar Jackson, he's gotten COVID twice. He's not vaccinated. In his press conference, he's a quarterback for the Ravens. Electric player. Everyone wants to watch him on Sundays. And he's still in his press conference. I don't know if I'm going to get it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I'll bet you 100% he gets it.
I don't know.
He's going to just forfeit his salary? His whatever $20 million a year he makes?
Yeah, so I am of the belief there's hundreds of billions of dollars gambled on the NFL. We need to know who's vaxxed and not vaxxed from fantasy purposes, gambling purposes.
Yeah.
I said I was only going to draft a vaccinated.
It's no different than knowing hey, this guy's knees bum, like he may be slow this week.
Yeah, I agree. Disclose it. All right. Let's move on because people are sick of hearing about COVID.
Yeah. My body, my choice.
Speaking of people who usually say stuff like that in this instance, white people.
Yes.
What? What? Oh man, sorry, that was fucked up. Sorry. What's going on? We're shrinking.
The whites are shrinking a little.
So what's that mean? So
in 2010, so the census data came out. Non-Hispanic white population was 63% in 2010.
Okay.
This year, it is 57.8%.
Uh-oh.
So we're trending downwards here. In California, Hispanics now represent 39% of the population, up from 37%. While the share of white people dropped from 40% to 34%.
Why is this only saying Hispanic and white?
Because there's such a big leap in like growth in the Hispanic population in America.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, adults over the age of 18 made up more than 3/4 of the population, an increase of more than 10%. And the population of children under the age of 18 dropped from 74 million to 73 million. So our population aged in the last 10 years.
It's not good for the Trump crowd, you know? They don't like this type of data.
That's why they were
This feels like a
trying
war.
to let the census
That's
happen.
why it's like how impressive Republicans are in gerrymandering, putting federal judges on.
Yeah.
Like the data shows that they shouldn't really be in charge.
Oh, yeah. They're just trying to hold out every last.
They're really good at what they do.
They're
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Because look, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? That ultimately you lose that fight.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to.
Yeah. I actually think the
They're gonna turn those
Republicans,
numbers
from a
around.
census standpoint, have such a great opportunity with like Hispanic population
Yeah.
to convert that group.
I think eventually that will happen.
Yeah.
There will be a Republican that embraces
Yeah.
and just understands, like, all right, we're over the threat. We can't target everything at whites,
Yeah.
and that person will be great.
Yeah.
But right now, no.
No, but Hispanics are generally more religious than other races.
Yeah.
So you can,
Play the religious
Weren't the
card.
Hispanic Trump numbers actually pretty good?
they improved.
Yeah.
Hispanic and black.
Yeah.
There's
Someone's
small
just gotta.
basis still.
Small basis, but that's insane with his rhetoric that
Yeah.
improved.
Yeah. I mean, his whole thing was about a wall to keep them out, and they're like, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
I had a friend not in one of my group chats, but he said in another group chat that the white people were furious that their numbers are going down. As two white guys here, do you care?
So look, I want to be very clear. Thank
Drama's
you.
like, you know what?
It's literally like an
I'm calling
interview
my
with
dad when I get out of here.
an interview with a white supremacist. How do you feel about the shrinking number? I couldn't possibly care less personally, but I understand why if you're an ignorant, like, keep America the way that it was, whites are dominating. These numbers are so scary. And if you're one of those believers that like terrorists and rapists are just pouring in over the border, like you're like, oh my God.
We lost 10%.
Yeah. So like I couldn't possibly care less, but I can guarantee you that I'm a little nervous about what the fight as those numbers continue to shrink, what that's going to look like.
I actually think I'm a little bit more optimistic
Okay.
because I think as the numbers shrink, more and more assimilation will happen.
I think that there's
that will, like, your son or daughter is going to bring home someone from a different. I mean, look at both of our marriages, right?
Yeah.
Like we took out two white women
True.
from the bottom.
You fucked the numbers up. Yeah.
You know, we put out a couple kids that have now
Yeah.
made those numbers go down.
Our future generations can never be fully white.
Yeah.
So you just literally took
Yeah,
two.
you guys literally just put a line in the sand, said it ends here. But look, so I think you're right, but I think that the same way that we were shocked that there was, like, look at the people who stormed the fucking Capitol.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked that could happen, that there was still that many people that felt that strongly about those things, that whatever. I think that the group will get smaller, but they'll get more passionate.
Yeah.
And I think there'll be a bit of a, like they will think that they're at war with the, like, our history is being squashed. There are people who fight. I mean, can you wrap your head around there? Because I can't. There are people who fight to keep up Confederate statues that were put up in the 60s.
Yeah.
Not even, you can't even say like, yeah, but that was a time. And like there was an argument that happened. We decided, and you're still holding on to what the losing side believed in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The fact that still happens today blows my mind. And I just feel like you fast forward 10 years and that number is like 30% or something, however that 20 years, I don't know how fast that happens.
Yeah.
There's going to be a small group in Alabama that is
holding strong.
Yeah, storming capitals left and right. I mean, remember when the rumor was after that Capitol storming, the next weekend they were going to storm every Capitol in every state? All right. Well, good luck. My advice would be get over it.
Yes.
Right? If you're upset, go make some friends that don't look like
Go
you.
make some mixed race kids. They look They look cute.
Yeah, they do look a lot cuter.
Because the counter in that same conversation was, wouldn't you be pissed if there were fewer Indians? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
Why would I care?
By the way, there's too many Indians.
Dee's like, actually, I'm a fan of it. Okay. Last but not least, let's talk about.
If you really are sick of America.
Well, this isn't going to be too good for your averages. But this might be actually good. We've talked about Pete a lot in this episode. I'm just saying it could be a good option if you're trying to live like an absolute king in paradise or queen.
Yeah.
And not too worried about breaking the bank.
So there's an article in CNBC that I was reading. Inside a retiree's $420 a month apartment by the beach in Mexico, in Mazatlan. She moved there 15 years ago from Santa Cruz, California to Mazatlan. She lives in an 1,100 square foot apartment with 10-foot ceilings, few minutes away from her favorite beach. $420. I like this move for a lot of people.
A lot of people.
I think like the idea of like, if you if you feel like America is not fair for you and you can't, figure it out, there are ways to make working remote just enough money to live an incredible life in another country.
Yeah.
And Mexico being so close by, being near the beaches, live that lifestyle.
So why not?
If your rent's $420, if you can net $2K a month.
Yeah.
I like it for young people.
Or retirees.
I like retirees.
I actually don't. Like, for example, our mom, if she's in her early 70s, if she were to say,
I want to live in Mazatlan.
I want to live in Mazatlan or India, I would say absolutely not.
True.
Just access to healthcare in case you need something.
So she's in a
level of
different
care.
financial situation than some of these other retirees because they would argue that they're going to get the same healthcare treatment down there because if you live in a community like that, I'm sure they're used to people being down there. And there are some, maybe not the best of the best, but just enough. Because if you're just living in bumblefuck America, you're not getting premium healthcare.
That's also true. If you're in bumblefuck, there aren't that many specialist doctors.
Yeah, so might as well go live your best years by the beach in Mazatlan.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe get healthier.
Yeah, I think it's case by case. Because I also think it's like, you guys have always been close, like in proximity to your mom, for instance. And I'm not using my parents as an example because I don't think they'd be good candidates either. But like where like your children moved away, you might kind of live alone anyway. Wouldn't be bad for that.
Or you never had children.
I think it's also maybe this is like big city talk because I'm aware that in Los Angeles, if you have a major health crisis, you have some of the best hospitals in the world.
Yeah.
Cedars, UCLA. And if you live in San Francisco, you have UCSF, you have Stanford, you're in New York, you have your variety of options.
Yeah.
Even in London. So I never thought about this until our kid had health issues that it's actually important. It's like strategically important to be in a major city with access to great healthcare.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I don't know. Those 5 p.m. pina coladas in that
Mazatlan.
I'm saying, if you want to visit, fine, full time. It gets a little tricky.
I think like I bet you because let's take our friend Luke who worked here. He wanted to move abroad. And he's now living in Mexico, and he's very happy. He's got his whole like new life out there.
Yeah.
Wait, Luke moved to Mexico?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to China.
He was going to Hong Kong, but they're still locked down.
Little detour?
Yeah.
Oh, so they were locked down. He's like, fuck it. I just need to be out of here, and Mexico will work?
Well, I would assume because he's not a U.S. citizen, he probably isn't allowed back in America. So he goes down to Mexico to make his slow trek to eventually go to Hong Kong. So I think that's what happened. I don't know if he has a green card or what's his situation, but he's probably living the life that he wants to live in Tulum or wherever.
Mazatlan.
Yeah, Mazatlan.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I think it's a good option. I think it's the type of option that the last year and a half really opened people's eyes too.
Yeah, I agree.
right
I think
for some
like a
people.
Pete should live in Mazatlan.
That's what I said. Plenty of golf courses, probably.
Basically, you're like, Pete should just not be doing what he's currently doing.
Well, he's
It's all
playing
you
golf.
guys-
You weren't here earlier, but
Well,
you weren't here earlier. But Pete was playing golf on Monday.
you
at,
missed
like,
that.
Yes.
evening.
Casey went golfing with his buddies on a Monday evening and ran into Pete alone, golfing alone on a Monday evening.
Okay, see, I missed that.
Mazatlan.
That's what Mazatlan. Would you rather be golfing in Mazatlan than Rancho Park?
Absolutely,
Was Pete
man.
that big of a golfer that you just go out by himself?
I don't know.
He has that much free time.
He's never asked me to play. So I don't know how often
The,
he's
the
golfing.
moment Jason picks up golf, I know that's the end of his run here.
I picked it up last year.
Well,
Okay, we'll see you later. Okay. All right, let's go on to winners, losers, content. D, who's your winner for the week?
my winners are NFTs. It
Oh, yeah,
is
true.
pandemonium.
It's funny because literally 2 weeks ago, I was like, does anyone even care about NFTs anymore?
I mean, it's gone from the crypto punks to other weird like animals. I saw penguins. I see cats.
Nice.
I see all these other punks and other.
Crypto.
It's just, is this money laundering? Is that what this is?
Probably some.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like you just buy this piece of art like you would buy
Yeah.
traditional art, which is
It's probably like the same way the rich used to money
Yeah.
launder with art. Now the semi-rich can do
Yeah.
it with...
like, yeah, I'm going to park $60 million in
Yeah.
a bunch of.
Plus, what I hear is that there's like a really crazy amount of money. I'm sure you guys know this, but in, especially in LA, but in like the weed industry that's booming where you can't use federal banks.
So they're parking it and stuff like
Crypto. Yeah, like I've heard that the reason why Rolexes are so
this. Hot.
hot is because a lot of people like in the marijuana industry and stuff like that are parking their money in Rolexes because
You know that's kind of stable, yeah.
yeah, which is weird. And to me, if it gets all the way to that, if that's true and it's like Rolexes have become this weird hot commodity, then yeah, why wouldn't you get a crypto punk?
Yeah,
Same thing.
that's my winner.
Anand?
My winner's Messi. So he started off the week crying. He was leaving Barcelona.
Yep.
And then he had the biggest motorcade I've ever seen an athlete have on his way into signing his new contract with PSG.
Like his entourage?
No, the motorcade, police
Oh,
motorcade.
Okay.
It looked presidential.
Was there fans allowed to in the streets?
All I saw were cops.
Okay.
So I think they wanted to put on a show.
Yeah.
And he looked very happy. Crying at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
2 years,
You
$80
think
million.
the crying was fake? Think the crying was like a LeBron, like I'm taking my talents to South Beach, but like let me do this right so that they don't burn my jersey?
I mean, I don't know anything about him.
I need you to make a judgment.
I would guess it's genuine because they.
That's what we do here.
I would.
We
Yeah.
make ridiculous
We-
opinions
ridiculous- yeah,
and call them facts.
I would guess it's genuine because they did kind of create him.
Yeah.
So he's been in the club since he was like 13,
Oh,
and they made him the star.
How
in,
old
like,
is he?
34.
Oh, wow. So 20 years.
Yeah, they found him in
Okay.
Argentina.
How long can you play soccer for?
And
That's not an
Ronaldo's
$80 million
older,
deal.
and he looks like he's still hitting goals every game.
Isn't
Who's
soccer
older?
like the most
Ronaldo's older. Cristiano.
Oh, wow.
cardio demanding sport there is?
Yeah.
Medicine's just getting better. Like Chris Paul played amazing. He's 36.
But also, you have to remember these people's diets.
yeah, they're taking.
I'm
care
sure
of
like
their body.
Maradona was doing like cocaine.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
These guys aren't doing that.
No, like they're in the NBA in the 80s. They were like drinking beers at halftime
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
and smoking
Chris
cigarettes.
Body.
And like having sex in the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now they're just on Instagram.
Yeah.
My winner is just crypto in general. Like it just feels like we're back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we got some action. I think we're in the dark ages there for a minute.
Yes.
But we got some action again. It feels good.
Okay.
So that's it. Kind of in line with your NFT thing. All
like
things digital stores of value.
All right.
Big winner. Who's your loser?
Jamie Spears just announced stepping down as conservator of
Wow.
Britney Spears' estate.
Really?
So is there a different conservator?
It just happened, so I don't have any details yet.
Wow.
But he's been paying himself $16,000 a month since 2008 to manage his daughter's multi-million-dollar fortune. I mean, you're doing all this over $16,000 a month?
yeah.
Well, I mean, they came from humble beginnings, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels so fucked up.
Yeah. So now, hopefully, things change quickly.
So is she free? We don't know yet.
It sounds
This
like
might be
she's
the
free.
beginning.
Yeah, it's the beginning of her freedom.
All right. That guy
Loser.
might be a really evil dude.
Yeah.
Like he might have like drugged and held captive his daughter to like make money off of her career. That's insanity.
Wild.
Okay, Anand.
DeSantis, your boy.
So he's not my boy. Don't you do that.
I thought he's going to the White House.
I accidentally one day said that I liked him.
So DeSantis and the right media, they hailed him as this hero on COVID, didn't listen to the liberal left on masks and promoting vaccines.
Yep.
And Florida's in trouble. Florida's breaking records every day.
But cases, but what about
hospitalizations?
Yeah, they're starting to overload hospitals. They're starting to do like the outdoor.
They had to ask, can you imagine? His office had to ask the Biden administration for 300 ventilators.
Wow.
What's that call like? I would love to be president just for that moment. I would never want to be president, but I would love to get that phone call.
And you think
Mr.
about
Sleepy Joe.
And you know, the funny thing is, the same people who praised him every day, like, look at he's sticking it to Biden, they don't talk about him anymore. I don't see Clay Travis talk about DeSantis.
Don't you know how it works? You don't know how it works. You just ignore when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
You just do what's best for you and your career.
But I will say, as a Republican strategy, that has worked.
Yes, and it works because as long as you don't talk about it.
Yep.
You're
Isn't
fine.
Texas in trouble too?
Yes, Texas is in trouble too.
Well, ain't that some shit? Look, I wanted them to be right. I'm going to be honest. I wanted like Rolling Loud. I wanted everything to be crazy, and I wanted it to work and just be like, oh, look, we can do that. It feels to me almost like we're entering, not to be scary, and also if you're vaccinated, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it feels like almost like we're entering like a second try at COVID.
Yeah.
Like you're starting to hear about hospitals overloaded again. You're starting to hear whatever, but you're not going to see the lockdown, I don't think.
No.
So it's like, here's another try.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens this time.
This try will be everything's open. Good luck.
You know, his strategy, DeSantis' strategy could have been, the smarter thing was, hey, everyone get the vaccine. We're not locking down. Don't worry, but the vaccine works.
But he did that, but just did it too late. He did say that.
There just has to be an immediate reward. It's either stimulus or you can't go anywhere. But you can't say like, trust me, it's the right thing to do. You have to force, unfortunately, I'm sorry. But you have to have an incentive.
Yeah.
If not, if you don't want to get vaccinated, it's just like smoking cigarettes like we talked about. If you don't want to get vaccinated, stay at home and don't be vaccinated. Stay home and chain smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
We don't care.
That's fine. I like that.
That was his.
That was
DeSantis.
yours.
My loser is just LA. It just bums me out. It bums me out too because I could have gotten a wrong impression, and I'm willing to admit that. But when I went to New York, we walked around quite a bit, and it felt very safe. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but we went to Washington Square Park, and there was all these kids and stuff, and there was cops there, and kids were like smoking weed and still having fun, but there were cops there just kind of off to the side. Walking around felt safe. You didn't feel like you were going to get robbed. And I don't know, maybe I was just in the right area or something. But out here, it doesn't feel like, I don't know what the right area is. And this kid got murdered. I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah, because you have both ends of the spectrum. Someone in Beverly Hills got shot, right?
Yeah.
For their, or attempted
over a watch. Yeah.
over a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the nicest part of town.
Yeah.
And then you have Melrose and Fairfax.
Yeah.
And then we know the rest of the city is.
Yeah. It's not like it's, just in that area. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But it's like, come on, man, you're LA. Like, you're fucking LA. You're the coolest city in the world. What are you doing? Anywho.
Wow.
Losers. All of us. Content.
So I saw this movie #1 on Netflix last week.
Okay.
It's called Blood Red Sky.
Okay.
It's absolutely scary, horrific. I still have not been able to finish it because it's too scary for me.
Like a scary movie?
Yeah, it's like vampire, like killings, blood.
And you're
like,
telling us to watch it.
I feel like, most adults can handle stuff like that. I can't.
I'm not a scary movie guy.
But I got
positivity.
The premise is actually quite interesting. It's called Blood Red Sky. It's a German movie. And Netflix is now saying it's past 50 million streams already.
I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it, man. I don't believe you.
You need to watch it. It's actually like really, really well done. Like the storyline, everything. It's just too fucking violent for me.
Okay. All right. Anand?
It's a show I want to start watching. I haven't. White Lotus
What's that on?
HBO. I'll read you the premise.
Shout out to HBO.
It's like a drama, satire, comedy.
Okay.
That's what the tagline is. And I've heard good things. The White Lotus follows the vacations of various hotel guests over the span of a week as they relax and rejuvenate in paradise. But with each passing day, a darker complexity emerges in these picture-perfect travelers, the hotel's cheerful employees, and the idyllic locale itself. It's filmed in Hawaii. I believe it was filmed at the Four Seasons in Hawaii.
Which 4 seasons?
Maui?
I'd assume Maui.
Okay. All right. I like it. Mine. I don't know if we talked about this. Did we talk about the Naomi Osaka?
No, I think you were hyping to that.
Yeah, I like it. That was a Paul Ripke suggestion.
Wow.
And it's very good. It's a very good look inside of the life of a child prodigy.
What's one thing that stood out? What's the story?
Rough. It's rough being a child prodigy.
Really?
Yeah. She's sort of, I'm not judging, but she's like a Michael Jackson, Venus and Serena, Tiger Woods, from age, like, oh, you can walk, here's a tennis racket.
Wow.
Sort of thing.
Was
and
were her parents tennis players?
her parents just knew from birth that they wanted her to be a pro tennis player. I don't think they were actually tennis players. And it was just like from day one. And like it feels like her entire, like she just doesn't know what it's like to be a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and like everything's tied to like, can you win? Like it's very easy to see why she had trouble doing press and stuff like that when you sort of watch a camera follow her for a minute. And it's gnarly. I think a lot of those stories are crazy because like, it's so great that you're so great. And like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But like,
is it worth it?
Yeah. Like to actually be that person. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I would want to be.
I'll tell you where my son's path is heading.
Oh yeah. What? I feel like it's time.
Yeah. Garbage man.
Hasn't dropped that, huh?
No, he's full on.
Wow.
We're doing a garbage.
So does he take out the garbage every night?
He literally physically carries like the little
incredible
wheel.
Passion.
Yes.
For you.
Yeah. And we literally sit and watch when they come and pick up. He has probably 60 garbage trucks. His birthday party, which is coming up, is garbage truck themed.
Okay.
He's all in on garbage.
I'll bring some garbage.
Yeah.
No, but to the Naomi thing,
cheap gift.
What's actually scary is think about the number of parents that tried to be Richard Williams, Naomi's parents, and Earl Woods, and just ruined their kids' lives.
Yes.
That's a large number. You're just only getting the three ones that actually made it.
You're right. Yeah. I've never thought about that, and you're right. And that's a really big number.
Yeah.
I want to see that documentary.
I mean, Ryan Braun, former MVP of MLB. We're talking about like youth baseball, and like some kid who's 8, who's like a stud. And he's like, he might not make his junior varsity team. Yeah. Why are we talking about this kid trying to be pro?
Yeah.
Well, because he's like, he may just lose interest.
Yeah.
Oh,
or he may just
girls.
Get a girlfriend. Yeah.
Or he just might not be good when pitching gets better. Like, how are we? And this is a guy who I grew up playing sports with, and he played in all the competitive leagues. But he even said at no point when I was 10 were we talking about professional baseball.
Yeah. All it takes is one girlfriend telling you look like Leonardo DiCaprio. And
or you look like FaZe.
Yeah, you could be in FaZe, babe.
FaZe up, babe.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a video game version yet of Tiger Woods.
Oh, there definitely is.
I bet you there is, right? There's got to be.
Get your ass back in there. Here's a gallon of Mountain Dew and sit and stare at that screen for the next 16 hours.
Warzone and you don't come out until you do.
Because if you think about how many parents...
Name all the weapons in Fortnite now.
Name them all now. Faceplant members, go.
How many parents got inspired by Earl Woods and Naomi's parents to do that to their own kids?
Yeah.
They're like 3 giving them a tennis racket.
Yeah.
And at what age did they realize, oh, my kid's just not...
I'd say 16.
Like when do you give up if you're the parent?
Because you got to hit puberty.
See if your kid hits a growth spurt?
Yeah, because like if all of a sudden your kid's like...
Because if you think about greatness, like Giannis didn't pick up a basketball until he was 16 years old.
Yeah.
That's the best player in the planet.
When you think about professional sports or like your trajectory in like sports at a young age, like you could just start at like 13. And if you have it, you have it.
Oh, for sure. You either have the athleticism or you don't.
Yeah. And you could literally...
Doesn't matter how many reps you did at 10.
Yeah.
If you don't have the athleticism at 15, 16.
Yeah, I'd love to see like data on like age started versus achievement. You know, like what is are all great players great top notch? They all started at 3, or did 10% of them actually start at 3? They're just the ones because we like to tell those stories. Like maybe just don't tell stories about the other great players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the story's fun to tell.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because I think Roger Federer, who's the greatest tennis player of all time, played like a bunch of sports.
Yeah.
So it was the comparison of like what Roger Federer did and what Tiger Woods did. Tiger Woods was singularly focused on golf and that's all he did. But Federer claims because he played all these sports his whole life, it made him a better tennis player. So
That
he
might be
played
in the book
soccer and he got
Range.
footwork and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a book called Range about that.
I think they talk about
I
that.
think they do.
Maybe I stole it from there.
Probably did.
You might have, but I'll tell you this much. I read it and I don't remember if it was or not. So you just sound really smart. I also wonder, last thing that's kind of fucked up is I wonder how many parents watch like the Naomi Osaka documentary and are like that's motivation for them.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
they're
For
like,
Oh, yeah. I
and
guarantee it's
Cindy's
more
pregnant. So like, let's get it.
Yeah.
I'm about to be just like Earl Woods.
that. Which part where he would sneak off and bone women while his kid was playing golf?
All of it.
Okay.
Because if you do good on this part, you get to do that.
You get that part. You get the fun part.
That's the reward. Add a little Jamie Spears in there. Okay.
Like the dad has, you know how the kid has pictures of their favorite athlete? The dad has pictures of like Jamie Spears, Earl
Side
Woods.
piece. Yeah. That's like his Gary Vee. It's Jamie Spears. You can do anything, even at 50. Oh my God. All right. Well, on that note, we're all done. Thank you guys.
We got two
shout
shout outs.
Okay.
The first one is from Jeremy Miller, a longtime pod listener. We talk on Instagram all the time. Him and his wife bought an abandoned house 3 years ago for $25,000, completely gutted it themselves, remodeled it themselves, put $55,000 into it, and just sold it and cleared $120,000. He's 33 years old. His wife are 25 years. He is 33. His wife is 25. And they just made their first six-figure flip on a house.
It's great.
That's
a lot
amazing.
of money.
That is a lot of money. I mean, at that age, you make that kind of money, you save, you invest it right. You're a millionaire next door.
Easily.
Yeah. It's incredible story. And then the next one is to Lauren Tierney, whose idiot brother forgot to give a shout out on Tuesday for his sister's birthday. So don't worry, Lauren. Happy birthday. Ryan was telling me he forgot. So here's a apology birthday from Ryan.
Hope the birthday was good.
Yeah.
Hope Ryan didn't ruin it.
Yeah. No shout out. Any other shout outs?
No shout outs from me.
All right. We will see you this weekend. Stay safe. Have fun. Bye.